Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Emma Canley and this week I'm going to tell you how to create a banging content plan. You can use this monthly, yearly, quarterly, however you like. I'm just going to give you some fast and loose tips on how to loosely plan your content and why you really should be making a content plan. I know that there are people out there who think they can just spin out a piece of content whenever they like and write about whatever they want. That's just not so. So I'm going to tell you why and run you through how to smash it. First up, why do you need to bother with a content plan? You know what you like to write, you know when you like to write, so why not do it that way? I'll tell you exactly why you shouldn't be doing it that way. Consistency, for a start, is a huge factor in how popular your blog content is going to be and how engaged your customers are with you. If they're never sure when they're going to get a new post or article or when you're going to be around on social, why would they bother to engage with you? You obviously don't care, so why should they, right? That's the logic. If they know they're going to get 3 posts a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and what those posts are going to be, they'll always be keeping a lookout. They may even want to subscribe or check in with you on social just to see if you've uploaded anything cool. It's worth their while. They know what to expect. And more importantly, consistency is a key factor in creating trust between yourself and a customer. If they think you're going to be all over the place, even in one tiny aspect of your business which you may not consider to be that important, it's a reflection on everything else you do. How do they know your customer service is not going to be reliable or consistent? How do they know your product is not going to be reliable and consistent? You have to be consistent in everything you do, and that includes creating content for your business. So now we've got that out of the way, why you need to do it, here's how you should be doing it. There are a number of different ways you can go about finding great ideas for your blog content. I would start really easy by looking at seasonal events and trends. You know that there's always going to be Easter, Christmas, New Year's Eve. You know that there's going to be Mother's Day, Father's Day. This may or may not relate directly to what you do or what you sell, but you know it's going to be on people's minds. You know there's going to be a lot of other content out there focusing on that subject. So it helps to factor that into your plan. If you're going to create anything relevant, if your product is relevant, how you're going to pitch it, how it's useful. So that's a really easy way to get started. You probably also have a really good idea of any promotions or product launches that you are planning for the months and year ahead. So factor that in. What content can you create which supports this, which promotes it, which promotes a benefit of what you're doing? You can use that again to fill in the gaps and flesh it out a little bit more. Now we're going to move into content which is really appealing to your specific customer base and is also timely. And there are a couple of little tricks that you can do to figure out what's interesting to them and what they are talking about. So I would suggest you nip onto a website like BuzzSumo or Feedly or Reddit or any places that you know your customers like to hang out and chat, or things, websites, products that they like to use. What are those people talking about? What's interesting to them? You can use all of this to kind of aggregate a nice little bundle of ideas to pick through and generate ideas off of, just to make sure that you're always delivering things that they find interesting specifically. Feeding into that as well, it helps to go back through your analytics, maybe check out your Google, your Squarespace, whatever the hell it is you're using, and find out what it is you've been writing about that your customers particularly enjoyed reading. Which are the top rated posts? Which ones didn't do so well? Why bother wasting your time rehashing an idea that bombed when you wrote about it the first time? Don't waste time on it. Go back through, have a look at what they really enjoyed and see if you can approach the angle in any more different ways. Has that particular topic evolved since you last wrote about it? Maybe you could explore a new facet. Maybe you could even interview one of your customers. Who knows? The whole idea's got legs on it, really long, sexy legs. So have a little dig around and see what you've got there. And by the time you're done with all of this, you should have a really chunky batch of ideas for your content plan. Now, at the beginning of the video, I mentioned that you should kind of loosely have it in place. That is to say, make sure that you know which days specific posts are going out and have things penciled in, but you always should try to leave room for any last minute pieces of interest. You might suddenly decide to have a flash sale. One of your competitors might do something that you need to react to. Something social might crop up that is particularly relevant to you. Leaving gaps just ensures that you can always make sure that you are bang on the money with your content and not kind of lagging behind or living in your own bubble dream world with no external influences making its way into your topics and content. Just make sure that you are open to having extra things slip in and out of your content plan if needs be. And that's all there is to it, really. Creating your very own content plan. Now, I've left this to post at the end of the year, but I am aware that you probably already have your content plan in place. If you don't, here you go, day one back at work, you can smash it out. You already know what it is you have to do. And if it's for your own private blog, well then you can use time off over Christmas to get all your ducks in a row. If you have any questions about this or anything else that I've spoken about before, just pop me a comment below and I'll answer it for you. Or you can find me on Twitter at EJ Cownley. Until then, have a very good Christmas and take care of yourself.